Mhm.
Well, here again this morning with Jackie Whippy, sitting in her car in Fiji, about to head into work, and I'm in my house in Australia. This morning we're going to have a conversation around women and pornography. We're taking this out of the darkness, out of the shadows. It's no longer a taboo topic. It's something that we must address. Now, at the beginning of this year when I was in Fiji, we launched Fiji Free from Porn. And this is a campaign to really highlight the harms and the dangers of pornography, because Fiji has a really high rate of viewing porn, and it's damaging lives, it's damaging society. And so often people think that pornography is only a guy's issue, but so many women are involved. In fact, 1 in 3 people who visit porn websites are women. And this is women of all ages, all backgrounds, all cultures, and women in Fiji and Australia as well. So Jackie, who we've been talking about singleness the last few weeks, today we're going on to a lighter topic, not really, pornography. And you have been brave enough to say you want to share a bit of your journey, which I just think is incredible. So thank you, because there's not too many people who are brave enough to. Jackie, tell us where your journey with pornography began. How old were you? How were you introduced to it?
Okay, thank you, Letitia, for bringing this up and asking me. And and I'm just crazy enough to say, yeah, let's talk about it. But I know it'll help a lot of people. And but to answer your question, I in 2000 and early 2013, I think it was around Jan, I was living with a friend. Flatting out with a friend in the West, a new job. So he introduced me to this porn site. Yes, he introduced me to this porn site, and yes, I'll say the name. I wasn't sure whether to say the name or not, but I saw that on your page you had mentioned it. So it's Pornhub.
Yeah.
And you know, and at the time I didn't know what I was looking at. And we were just laughing about it because that was 2013. Yeah, so I was never really, I didn't know much about, I knew about porn and everything, how to access it, but on, you know, through through shops here that sell DVDs. But, you know, of course, it's too embarrassing to go to the shop and say, can I have some DVDs of, you know, X-rated videos? So when my friend showed me this, I was like, wow, you can. And he was like, yeah, you can get online and it's free. And I was like, I got fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
And 2013, that's when I was introduced. I was, how old was I then? How old am I now? I am 38 right now. So we can do the math and bring back into 2013. And that's how old I was at that time.
Yeah. So it's been a journey. You know, you said you probably kept watching it till about 2017, where you gave your heart back to the Lord.
Yes.
Became a Christian again, but then it's still a struggle. What is it? Why do women watch pornography? Or what intrigued you?
Well, I don't know why women watch pornography. Why I watch it is, well, see, when I was introduced in 2013, I didn't watch it straight away. Because, you know, at that time too, the internet wasn't that great. I think I got, and then I was in a relationship. So I realized when I'm single, I started to watch it because I didn't want to be sleeping around with people. You know, that was me trying to rationalize everything, not realizing, you know, what went into making those videos and all of that. But sorry, I'm diverting here. But to answer your question, why do women watch it? For me, you know, speaking from my experience as a woman, I watched it because I could enjoy something like that in this, you know, in the privacy of my room, and not resort to sleeping around with men and you know, going through that emotional roller coaster of sleeping with a guy, waiting for him to call, you know,
Yes.
having one night stands. I was at an age where I can't be like sleeping around like I did when I was, you know, years younger. I'm not perfect, but you know, yeah. So that was my reason for watching porn. I think was just to kind of curb that appetite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fascinating because you're watching it to try and protect yourself from, you know, real life relationships. But meanwhile, it's still affecting you and damaging you. In what ways is
Yes.
it affecting you negatively?
Sorry. In what ways was it
Oh,
affecting me?
yes, negatively. How did porn?
Negatively. Okay. Sorry, it's raining. It started raining here, and I'm in my car. Like, what you saying?
I'll
Okay.
speak up.
Yes. Okay. So, how has it been affecting me negatively? You know, not a lot of people realize it, but okay. Well, speaking from experience again,
Yeah.
I think that how it's affected me negatively is now I have a standard. Not that it's a, you know, like, it's not my standard. It's a standard set to me by the porn world.
Yeah.
You know, now that when, you know, when I get intimate, I mean, not that I'm doing it now. I'm off all of that. No sex at all. Also, but when I was, my views on, you know, sex, um, now I feel that there's a standard. I have to perform like those women that I watched. I have to look beautiful like them. You know, it's affected me negatively because now I think, you know, to feel wanted, to feel loved, you have to look like that. You have to perform like that. If you don't, um, you know, your man's just gonna run in the other direction, and it's like you have to level up,
Yeah.
go up one level, another level, and it's gonna destroy you emotionally, yeah, especially if you don't have willpower and if you don't have a good sense of yourself. Yeah.
Absolutely, and that's a common thing I hear among women is they're comparing themselves. In a
Mm,
plastic surgery has gone through the roof because women are comparing themselves to the porn stars and they're wanting to look like them,
yes.
which is, and I've got a friend who used to be a porn star and she says, it's not real. It's so fake. The things that they were asking us to do, she could not perform in porn without being on drugs and out of her brain because it's just so unrealistic. So
Mm,
that really damages us as women because we are very
yes.
comparative creatures.
Yes.
And yes, we do look at other women and think, well, if that's what men want, then I need to be like that.
Yes, yes, and it destroys everything. You
Mhm.
know, what's supposed to be sacred and, you know, and good and just, you know, great between two people that love each other, is destroyed because
Mm.
then you'll expect that from your husband, you know, from your boyfriend, or, you know, to perform like that. And it's crazy. It's
Mhm.
crazy because it's an unrealistic world. We don't
Yeah,
live in that world.
yeah, that's it. So at the time, I mean, because you were in some relationships back then, was that also affecting your relationships that you were having with real life men?
Um, I think, well, see, when I was in a relationship, I wasn't watching. I
Okay.
wasn't watching porn because, like I said, my appetite was curbed. You know, I wasn't, you know, I was fulfilled with a partner that I was with. But um, because I watched porn, you know, for me, there was an expectation. And for me, I became competitive with myself that I needed to perform and that I needed to, you know, make sure that, you know, that they were satisfied and not really thinking about me and how I felt
Yeah,
about everything, because I compared everything to porn, so that, you know, and also just a sense of insecurity too, because that way they won't leave me or
yeah,
something like that. You know, I'm trying
yeah.
to think about how I
Absolutely.
was back then, but
Um,
yeah.
yeah, no, it brings up a lot of insecurities. So, I mean, there's always consequences to our choices, is that although there is freedom
Yes.
from the addiction of pornography and from shame, there is consequences,
Mm.
aren't there? And would you say you still carry some of those consequences to this day?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. But I love that you're not allowing it to keep you silent, or
No,
so
I
much
think
shame
it should
around
be
these
shared.
issues. So in
Yes.
speaking out, you're acknowledging, hey, this is a struggle. This has been a problem.
Mm.
But I know now you've created people in your life to help keep you accountable, um,
Yes.
and you're really digging into God and filling your mind with other stuff, which is vital.
Mm. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how, sorry, can I add
Yeah,
something? I
yeah,
don't know how people, for me, I never really thought about it as an addiction, but I think in some ways it was. Um, and for me, what I realized when something becomes an addiction, it starts to control your life, and I don't like to be controlled like that. So, like, I gave up smoking. I don't drink as much as I used to. Like just a glass of wine now with family and friends. But like I used to binge drink. I used to smoke like a chimney, and then I realize now that porn was a big part of that. um but you need to be careful of things that you pay too much attention to, or that consumes you, and has a negative effect. And people would, I had a conversation with an aunt, and she was saying there's nothing wrong with porn, and I was like, no, there is.
yeah,
Because you're married, you will feel like you need to perform like those women, and if your husband is watching it too, he will think that if you can't perform like that, I'm going to go and look for someone who can.
absolutely.
And it's going to destroy any marriage, any relationship, because you're always looking for something that's not really there. It's a
Absolutely.
performance, like a movie.
And when I was in Fiji back in January, I had a lady I didn't know just reached out to me on Facebook, a Fijian woman, just saying her husband is watching pornography, and she was asking me, what's wrong with me? Like she was blaming herself that,
Mhm.
can't find satisfaction in who she is as a woman. And I'm saying there's nothing wrong with you. It's not your fault. Also, she has two little children, and she was scared for them because so often pornography fuels sexual abuse. And I hear a lot of these. In fact, another woman just called me yesterday to tell me about her husband who's in prison because he was addicted to porn and abused one of their daughters. So um,
Mm.
so many side effects to this, such a big issue.
Mm-mm.
So we want to encourage people. I mean, we're speaking out, you're sharing your story.
Mm.
It feels good, but because you
Mm.
want to help other people. And so we want to particularly encourage women. If this is an issue you're
Mm.
struggling with, you can contact Jackie or myself, Letitia, through Facebook. Track us down, and we would gladly want to just help you and get you help. Sometimes the, professional help is needed as well. So
Yes.
thank you so much, Jackie. You're just courageous, disruptive.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
disrupting the
you.
silence around this issue. And for all the women out there who think you're the only one, you're not. There's so many women who are struggling
Mm-mm.
with silence around this. So
Yes.
let you get off to work.
Thank you. Can I just add one more thing before I leave?
Yeah.
I don't know if I mentioned this, but just whoever's listening out there, I changed my life in 2017, and but I didn't. The porn I was still watching
Mm.
the whole of 2007, well, in and out of 2017, even a little bit in 2018. And I will be honest, as a Christian, I was struggling, but the one thing that helped me was God, and my relationship with him. And one scripture in the Bible, it says to meditate on his word day and night. And I do that. And like, this world will throw so many things at you, and you know what, it's you're not perfect, and when you come to know God, you won't be perfect, but he helps you.
Mm.
When you meditate on his word, you know, it'll help you, it'll fill your mind with so many good things. And you know, Christianity is not boring. I'm telling you, it's not boring. It's self-control. How awesome would it be
Yeah.
that, you know, that you can have control over your mind
Yeah.
with the help of God? And that's why it's so important to meditate on good things. When you're watching stuff like I used to watch porn and all of that, because
Mm.
it's filling my mind, that was in the forefront of everything. I started to, you know, feel like I needed to look a certain way, perform a certain way. You know, men that I was interested in needed to look a certain way. You know, it starts to distort everything about you, whatever, you know, type of addiction that you have. But you know, if you can find something that helps you, if it's not the Word of God, if it's a friend or motivational, you know, videos, reach out and get help. You know, you're not alone.
Absolutely.
That's
Well said. Well, that's brilliant. Thank you, Jackie. Have
You're
a
welcome.
good day.